Welcome to Jethro's Garage. See this box behind me? Yep. There's a welder right there. Anyway, today we're going to show you the Bestarc MIG145 9th Gen. They're listed all over Amazon. There's a bunch of different versions. From what I could tell, this one is $169.99, and you can click a little box and get a $35 off coupon, and that brings it down to whatever that may be, $134.99, I think is what it works out to. So today I'm going to give you an overview of this, and then we're going to work with it maybe in the next video that I do. It'll probably be a few days later. A little bit about this. The people at Bestarc contacted me a week ago, maybe a little longer, but about a week ago, and they asked me if I would do a video on the welder. And I asked them, I sent them back, I said, so what are we talking about here? What are you asking? I let them know that I didn't want to do any videos where I couldn't be 100% honest and whatever. They said, do your video, give us a video of you using it, unboxing it and all that, talking about its features and all that. And I said, okay. So they sent it out to me. So this welder, I did not purchase with my own money. The video is not sponsored per se, but you know, they sent me the welder to try it out. To do. So let's just say it's sponsored, okay? Bottom line though, I'm going to tell you what I really think about this. Now this first video isn't really a review. I'm going to give you some first impressions, but it's hard to review it until I actually use it. And we're talking about arc stability and all this, okay? Plus it's only it's a 145 amp machine, so, But anyway, let's get on to it. I'm not going to bring you up here, but I am going to pause for just a second so I can put my intro in here. Okay, y'all back. Let's go ahead. Let's open this thing up. I've been itching at it. I actually come in this morning. I'm like, woo! And I was a little concerned. It's just, you never know who you're dealing with on the internet. So, but anyway, here we go. Bestarc MIG. Let's talk about what's on the label here.15 it's X0043ELB15 or L5. Can't tell. It comes with the welder with a MIG torch. MIG torch, comes with the earth clamp with cable, a ground, a stick holder with cable for stick welding, regular arc welding, 0.04 flux core wire, 0.03 solid wire, contact tips for 0.3 or 30 or 30 thousandths, 30 thousandths wire, 35 thousandths wire, 40 thousandths wire, wire feed rollers for 30 thousandths and 35 thousandths. Wonder why we don't have wire feed roller for 40. I'll check that. 2 meters of the gas hose, and 120 volt to 110 wire adapter and a shoulder strap. This is a dual voltage, so it's supposed to be 110 and 220. So the description of it is full digital MIG stick lift TIG welder, gas and gasless MIG welding, 60% duty cycle at 110, 220 volts dual voltage. So 60% dual duty cycle. If I'm welding for, if I want to weld for 10 minutes, and I'm going full blast, it's probably only going to do 6 minutes, and I'm going to have to let it cool down for a little bit. That's a rough explanation, but and we'll see how that works. I'll test it out. 50 or 60 hertz, high frequency, multiple wire sizes, flux core, solid welding wire, LED screen, and a 2T, 4T torch trigger control. Okay. Open her up and see what we got. I'm probably going to be in your way a little bit. I'm going to try not to be. It's like Christmas. This is cool. It's kind of one of the first actual things I've been sent to review. I have had other people contact me, and one of them I think I'm going to go back and relook. It was an impact wrench. It was an electric cordless impact. We'll see. It's been a bit, so they may ignore me when I respond because I ignored them, whoever it was. And I don't mind testing your product out, whoever, unless you tell me what to say about it. I don't want to do if you want me to just introduce your product, it still don't seem me a shabby product, because when I start looking at it and I don't like it, it's going to be a problem. So, you know, this right here, they told me, hey, you know, we're not going to tell you what to say about it. The package is pretty decent so far. Let me maybe move you up here. Maybe you can see better from up there. The thing that got me about this was it was kind of light. Let's measure this, box and all, because I was like curious, because wow, it was like, wow, it did come in a pretty bigger box from Amazon. They shipped it directly from Amazon. I know you can't see that here. I can't even see it. Roughly 23 pounds, okay? I'm sitting at 22 pounds and 13 ounces, but I can't really see the screen. So pretty small machine. So let's unpack here. We're gonna go through this a little at a time. Wow, that machine is small. I mean, that's cool. That's not a bad thing. Let's open up this box. This is my Vim knife I got, got this past Christmas. Ordered a bunch of stuff from them. They sent me a knife, for free. It was an offer open to other people. I think I made a video about it, trying to tell people to take advantage of it. So I'm gonna lay stuff to the side as I get it. Here's my gas hose, 2 meters of it. As I'm reviewing this machine later, and even first, let's keep in mind this machine cost roughly $170 before tax, okay? Here's our adapter. 220 plugs in here, you plug it into 110. I'm gonna test this machine out on both 110, 220. I'm also going to test it out using flux core and gas, because I've got gas. I got gas. Okay, here is my ground clamp. It's a little light. It's about what I expected. It's not bad. It's just, you know. Here is my stinger for, you know, welding with rods. Here's a strap to carry it, backpack style. Here's a so the wheel that is for your wire, it's labeled 08 and 0.9, 0.8. So this would be two different sizes of wire. So that's a little different. And then we've got 3 tips and some Teflon tape. The manual, which I'll be looking over later, a wrench. Here is my flux core wire. So it looks like, what is this, 0.5 kilogram, so a pound of wire. And here's a pound of 030, I believe it is. A 0.8 millimeter. ER70S-6. And this one is self-shielded flux cord wire, E71T-GS, and it's 1 millimeter wire. I'm guessing the proper wire spool or roller is in the machine for the shielded, the 040. So that's that box. It's empty now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't drop it. Anything else in the box? It was packaged pretty decent. It's a small machine. Like I said, that's not a bad thing. Small machine. Let's look at the front of this. So according to what you do, and you're going to do positive or negative here. One thing I have not looked at is whether this machine is DC or AC. I'm assuming it's not both. I'm hoping it's DC. And so look here. .45 9 gen. Okay, so it is 24 amps input, 25 volts output, rated at a duty cycle of 60%. Output current is 125 amps at 110 volts, 145 amps at 220. It says it's 85% efficient. Okay. So this doesn't come with a tungsten, with a TIG torch. You have to do your own, and you would have to have a way to control your gas, I'm thinking, okay? But let me look here. One thing, let's see. We didn't come with a gauge for the tank or for the, we didn't come with gauges for it, okay? I've got them. But not everybody's going to have gauges. So it's hard to see. So there's a special TIG torch that comes with this, or that you can get, and I'll look some of this up. But you would plug it in, but it's got a separate connection, so you can connect it to your argon bottle or whatever gas you need for the process you're using. So I'm still trying to figure out whether this is an AC or DC machine. I'm assuming it is DC. We shouldn't assume things, but I am assuming it is DC. Okay, yep, DC, it's a DC machine. So on the lid, it gives you different material, what drive roller you use. So right here, solid ER76, you use the V-groove drive roller. Your DC electropositive. So here's your positive, here's your negative. This right here is for this. So CO2 for shielding gas, or none according to whether you use flux cord. Gas flow rate, it wants you to from 8 to 12 liters per minute. You can do some different according to what your gauges are. Then it'll tell you thickness of material and your wire diameter. So right now, volts or amps. So if you're going 1 millimeter, which is pretty thin, it wants you to have 16.5 volts, 50 amp. On down to 7 millimeter, which is a 1/4 inch, which looks like the thickest material, just over 1/4 of an inch. Looks like that's the thickest material they want you welding with this, which sounds about right. You're greater than or equal to 21.5, or less than or equal to 21.5 volts and 150 amps, which this machine is a 145 amp machine. Still, with your flux core, you're wanting to be a little higher on all that. And it gives you stuff for stainless, and I have to look for acid alkali electrode. I don't know. But anyway, let's look in here. So now we've answered the one question. It is a DC machine. It's got a button right here to feed your wire while you're loading it up. Here's my feed roller. No, it ain't. Here's my feed roller right here. Let's take that out. And it is a 1.0 or a 0.8 according to where it is. And so whatever groove is on the top is the one we're feeding. So let's put the 1.0 back on top. Put this back in. It's got a little button here. That holds that in. Let's see. Okay, so I got that. Let's turn this on and put us some wire in it. Because I'm going to start, the first thing I'm going to do is do shielded. I'm going to load it up with shielded, or, you know, what are we calling shielded wire again? Flux core. I'm going to start out with that. If you've never welded, back in the day, the cheap welder was the Harbor Freight 90 ounce. And it only used flux core. So the first thing you had to do is search for good flux. If you wanted to weld with it and you wanted it to look halfway decent, and you could accomplish that. I had one, and my little brother's got it now. I gave it to him. The thing is like 12, 13 years old or older. I bought it in somewhere around 08. You figure out, you do the math. So yeah, but you know, you had to, plus it was AC. So you had to get wire that worked with it right. And being AC versus DC is huge, okay? DC just welds so much better on a lot of stuff with the regular welding process. There are some things you want to do AC with. AC is better for aluminum, but there's other things, you know, to consider there too. That's why I have multiple welding machines over there, and one is AC/DC, and I mainly use it to TIG with. And the other one is DC only, and it is a multi-process machine, but I mainly use it to MIG with. Did I get the shielded? Okay. So I'm going to load this up. Let's use my Milwaukee pliers here. We'll pull that out, and I'm going to hold it, because if I let that go, it's going to unspring and it's going to be all over the place. And it still may happen. I should have my welpers over here, my wire pliers, my welding pliers, but I don't. So these rolls typically are spring loaded, right? So you don't want to, you know, put a whole lot of pressure on them. Let's get this back on there, because did you see that? I almost lost it. And I put it in so that the wire is feeding from this side, so there's not an angle, huge angle going to here. I I might adjust that in a minute to pull it out a little bit, to get it a little bit further away from the roller here. Oh, I just did. So I'm going to tighten this up. I want it to be able to turn, but I don't want it to be able to just run free. So that's why it's spring. So see, we're kind of loose there. We'll give it about 3 more turns. That's about right. Let me back her up. I'm going to cut a little more off because I think I bent that. And I don't want any problems feeding this. It's already giving me a little problem. But that's me, right? So I'm going to feed it through here. And I'm going to go all the way through. And come here, let me show you. Can you see that? Let me clamp this down. And I'm going to make sure you can see it. Okay, I think you can see that now. Now let me hold this and I'm going to feed this. Well, I cannot see. Yeah, let me go get my glasses. Okay, now I can maybe see. Get this in here. Remember the little light? I'm trying to use it. Now so you got to feed it into the liner of your MIG. And the MIG liner was a little high. So, wonder why my light shut off. Did I let it run down? So I've got that, yeah, I'll let my light run down. Okay, so I had to deal with the light issue. We've got that done. Let's go over here and turn this machine on. Where we got it? Mainly I want to, okay, yep, I got to turn it on. Is there a turn on switch on the back? Yep, there is a turn on switch on the back. And we're powering up. Let me move you back now. Okay, now that I got you back, first thing I'm going to do, so when you're welding, if you've got a way to feed your wire to get it ready to go, you really don't want to just press the trigger. I mean, you can, but you got current flowing through it, and well, that's not the best way. The understanding this liner in this machine, let me back you up a little further. Okay, this just slide on, slide off. So I'm going to take my tip out. Okay, I'm gonna make, it's got a 40 tip in it. This is a gas diffuser right here. And I'm gonna press this red button until I get wire out the end here. Okay, wire out the end. I'm good, and I don't have current running through it like I would if I was to, you know, use my trigger here. Not too bad. Let's cut this excess off. So, another thing I'm going to want to do, I want to make sure we're not dragging. So I'm going to loosen this up just a little bit, the roll here, and also I want to take this and I want to back this the spring pressure off on this feed roll, almost to the point where it won't feed no more, and then tighten it just a little bit. So I'm gonna set this down. Well, it fed all the way till I was completely loose. So I'm pretty dang loose, and it's doing pretty good. So I may adjust that later or what have you. Look at all that wire I've done wasted. Okay, so yeah, I shouldn't have really did that. Now put my tip in. Pretty tight fit. I'm going to take my pliers, get in here. I'm not trying to He-man it. I just want to give it a nice little tighten so it's good, a nice little turn so it's good, nothing crazy. And this just slips on your nozzle. So you want your tip. That tip is a little far out. You want your tip to be just a little bit under. So that right there is about right. See where we got it. Okay. Go through a few things here. Now that I've got this, I don't have this grounded. So, yeah. Let me get you into the. We're going to go through the functions of the little display. We're learning this thing together. So it's on 110 volt right now. It tells us it's on 110 volts. It tells us it's at 50 amps. We're not worried about 2T and 4T. We're MIG. It has, and we're on gasless. TIG, MMA. So now, let's see. That would be TIG. That would be MMA. We're back on MIG. I can use that to change from gas to gasless. So we're on gas. Now 2T, 4T, change that. And now I'm going to go up on my amps. It looks like my bolts go up with me on this. Let's see, what is that? So I think what I'm adjusting here is my inch per minutes on my feed. So let's try that. Pretty slow. No. No, that's not what I was controlling. Well, but your amps goes up as your volts goes up. As of right now, I'm not sure there's a way for me to change that. But also under here we've got 030, 035, and 040. that right there puts it on 040, and I have to do it again. So this is designed to keep everything sort of adjusted the same. I don't know if I can change that around, but here this is your overview. Okay, next time we look at it, we're going to be welding. Let me. There we go. Now we're dangerous. We were dangerous before, but now we really are, right? Here it is. Let me shut this thing off and I'll back you up and we'll talk about it. It keeps going for a set amount of time after you turn it off to make sure everything's cool. That's cool. Okay, what do y'all think? Neat little machine. I like it. First impression is I like it. If you were to buy this, you have to take everything into consideration. Okay. We haven't struck a single arc with it. Okay, but take things into consideration. You're not going to get a super thick ground clamp, and you're not going to get a $50, $60, $70 ground clamp with this. It's just not going to happen. And this wire here at 1 gauge can get pretty expensive. Okay, so expectations. But so far, this is a nice machine for what it is. We'll see. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate everything y'all do. If you don't mind, click that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I have more stuff coming. Yeah. And tell your friends about me. And by the way, there will be a link to this product in the description, okay? Click it, take you to Amazon, figure out whether, it's the right thing for you. Pretty good price. We'll be talking about what it would be good for when I actually use it over there, okay? I got a project I'm currently working on now, so I'll probably go set this up in a little bit and see. Thank y'all. Y'all take care. Have a blessed week.